Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the City Council meeting of May the 20th, 2014 to order. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Petty.
Here.
Tennant. Schottmeyer.
Here.
Adams. Here. Long.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Marsh.
Here.
Kenyon.
Here.
Mayor Jordan.
Here. Would you join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I would like to start off by recognizing Shay Hopper's class from Woodland Junior High, the 9th grade government class. Would you all please stand up and be recognized? Yes. Wonderful to have you. Thank you all. Okay, the first order of business we have tonight is the current report on the public transit in Fayetteville from Joel Gardner and Jeff Hatley. Joel? Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Very, very well. Ladies and gentlemen, for the record, my name is Joel Gardner, and I am the Executive Director of Ozark Regional Transit. I wanted to come before you, first of all, today to say thank you very much for the support that you've provided us over the years. With the support that you've provided us, we've been able to really make some serious changes to Ozark Regional Transit and how it's being conducted at this point in time. Over the last 18 months since I've been here, we've really worked diligently towards improving the services, improving the timeliness, expanding the system as much as we possibly can within the boundaries of our current financial guidelines. And we've done some really, really great things, and I'm going to go over a few of those things with you. Jeff is handing out a couple of different reports and also some maps, business cards. So if you will bear with us, and Jeff going in front of you, I will continue to speak with your permission. One of the first pages that I had Jeff hand out to you is the key performance indicators for calendar year 2013 versus 2014. What we've done is we've gone from a federal fiscal year to a calendar year for our fiscal year, and now we're doing all of our comparisons calendar year to calendar year. If you will notice, for the city of Fayetteville, all the way over on the right-hand side, second column from the right, percent change from one calendar year to the other calendar year. It's a negative 4% change on fixed route. It's a 30% increase on paratransit with a total of a minus 3% on the overall system. A brief explanation on why we had, even though we're expanding, we're making changes, and why we had a reduction in services. We did some digging on this to figure out what had gone on in that first quarter of 2014 compared to 2013. The biggest thing that we came about was our days of service. First of all, we had 5% days less of service because the place froze over. No doubt about that. We had 3 days in January where nothing really moved in this area. So there's one account. Also, we actually did a comparison of 2013 to 2014 temperatures because over the years I've noticed in public transportation, if it gets too unbearably hot or too unbearably cold, people will not ride fixed route public transportation. Just as a quick note, in 2014 we had 10 days of 15 degrees and under low temperatures, and in 2013 the lowest temperature was 15 degrees. We had an average temperature of 29.6 degrees in 2014, and it was 39.5 degrees in 2013. So temperature does play a role in ridership and how people will actually stand out on the street and wait for a bus to go by. Now, as we move into April of 2013, we've noticed that in 2013, we've had an 11% increase in April and a 15% increase in May in ridership just in Fayetteville alone. So as we look at the passenger data and as we continue to provide this to you as you request it or on a quarterly basis, we will be able to provide hopefully full explanations as to what's going on in our department. As we continue to go along, I wanted to draw your attention to the stack of maps that is available in front of you. In that stack of maps, we have the Route 47 with the changes that we've implemented this year. It's connecting the city of Johnson, and if you can go ahead and peruse these at your leisure later on. But we're actually, for the first time, connecting the city of Johnson to the city of Fayetteville. We're also connecting the city of Johnson to the city of Springdale in a route that is dedicated to Springdale. We also have the Route 40 South, which connects the Northwest Arkansas Mall with the Hillcrest Towers transfer area. We also have 41 East and 41 West. Those are two of our biggest changes that we've implemented here in Fayetteville, because we took the old 41, which was just this continuous, arduous loop, and we split it out into two distinct routes. When you actually look at the maps, you'll be able to see that we can actually split this out in the future to 4 routes without changing anything. We've timed it so that at one half of the hour we're heading in one direction on the map, another half of the hour we're heading in another direction on the 41 East. We're going into the industrial area now for the first time. On the 41 West, we're actually going down as far as the Washington County complex or the jail. We're going down there to where the businesses are, and we are still servicing all the old places that we were servicing before. We spent a lot of time over the last 5 months diligently working on Rogers, Springdale, Fayetteville, and our final approach for landing this plane is going to be putting in the Route 620. The Route 620 will be the new route that connects West Fork to Fayetteville, passes through Farmington, all the way out to Lincoln, and back through. We will be making that trip in each direction 5 times a day, 5 days a week, over a 15-hour span. So, finally, one of the things that we've done is we've implemented some new technology. This is the last page that I've got here. We have had this technology available to us, I guess, for about 6 years. My predecessor purchased a programming system called Route Match. That programming system enables us to watch the buses, see where they are, make scheduling changes to the routes for the paratransit and demand response, and it also had a bunch of other modules in it that were never basically turned on. We talked to the programmers, we made some changes for some of the modules that weren't working for us, for these modules that are working for us, and I can basically sit on my phone here. Once I download this application, and it is a free application, I can sit on my phone, I can see where the nearest bus stop is to me, and how many minutes before that bus actually gets to that stop. Or I can choose a wide variety of stops on there. So what we've done is we have, over the last 18 months, and especially over the last 6 or 8 months, we've diligently pushed for increasing our safety, increasing our timeliness, understanding the software programs that are put in front of us, using the tools that we have had for years, and giving the citizens of Fayetteville and Washington County a better transit system on a day-by-day basis. That's my pitch.
Okay, very good, Joe.
Questions, comments, and or concerns?
What questions do we have?
Have we restored Sunday service or Saturday service?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Saturday service was originally funded through a federal grant that was only supposed to go on for about a year or so. It carried on for another couple of years at the expense of some other services that could have been provided, like longer hours in the day. It was wholly supported by the agency itself, and when it really came down to it, the hours that we were putting in on Saturdays, we had to have a dispatcher, we had to have a mechanic on call or on property, we had to have drivers available. We were really giving probably about a dozen or two people a ride at the tune of about $60,000 a year. So it was not a profitable venture at that point in time to go ahead and do Saturdays. If we do Saturdays again, we will of course need the support of the entire community of Northwest Arkansas to do that, and it would be a full program all the way along.
Any other questions? Okay.
Sir,
Thank
thank
you,
you for your time.
Very much. Thank you. I think you all do a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Moving along to the consent agenda. Number 1, approval of the May 6, 2014 City Council meeting minutes. Number 2, Garver LLC, a resolution to approve a professional engineering services agreement with Garver LLC for design services for Kessler Mountain water main improvements in an amount not to exceed $105,600 and to approve a budget adjustment. Number 3, Highway 16 Bridge Project. Resolution to authorize the conveyance of utility easements to the city of Elkins for water and sewer line relocations for Highway 16 Bridge Project. Number 4, Community Resources Division Budget Adjustment. Resolution to approve a budget adjustment in the total amount of $8,926 representing citizen donation revenue for 2013 and 2014 and an ASPCA grant for the Rangers Pantry Pet Food Bank, donation revenue from the Fraternal Order of Police for the Senior Giving Tree event, and CDBG program income received from a housing program lien payoff and taxi refund.
Move we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as read. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Petty,
Yes.
Shopmire, Adams.
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
Okay, under unfinished business, we have none. The next order is a public hearing. It's, number 1 is Stroud Investment Properties LLC, a resolution to order the raising and removal of a dilapidated and unsafe structure owned by Stroud Investment Properties LLC located at 540 North Betty Jo Drive in the city of Fayetteville, Arkansas, and to approve budget adjustment. I understand, Jeremy, you have something on that?
We do. As reported at the agenda session, there was some movement for the property owner to demolish the structure. We checked today, and there's a dumpster and equipment on site. They hope to begin that tomorrow. So we would request the public hearing be tabled for 2 weeks. We don't want to table indefinitely just because we want to make sure it is complete, but we would ask for it to be tabled 2 weeks. If it is complete by that time, we'll simply table it indefinitely and not have to act on that, which is generally our preference.
Motion to table.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table the Stroud Investment Properties LLC.
That was a motion for 2 weeks. Sorry, I should have.
Okay, for 2 weeks. All right, everybody good? Motion and second. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Petty,
Yes.
Shopmire.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
ask a question?
You sure can.
And I don't want to put Jeremy on the spot, but it's come up at Word 4. When there's a public hearing, could you tell us just a little bit for the public to hear? A public hearing goes on with an announcement, so the red signs are posted on the property that there will be a public hearing.
Yep.
And could you tell us what happens after those red signs are posted and when the public, there's a date posted on those signs, and then, do you mind to tell us a little bit about that process?
So generally, when we post a site, it is for public notice. We post those for planning commission meetings, but for these purposes, we're posting it for both the property owner, if we can't reach them, for neighbors, if they're interested, or anyone else who might be interested in that particular property or whatever's going on in that property. What we do is we post the date and time of the meeting. So it'll be located in this room at this time, what date, and then generally it will give contact information because we can't give all of the, what exactly is going on with that site on the sign. You wouldn't be able to read it. So we generally give contact information if someone wants to contact us or simply be here at the meeting to discuss any concerns or questions that they have with that particular property.
May I ask one more
Sure.
question? And then if, for it to be tabled, is a decision made by, in this case, by your office because you saw something that was changed, but it could be for any reason, maybe, so the public hearing date is just a tentative date where you're putting public on notice, but it could be tabled at any time with it?
Sure, so the staff couldn't do that. The council has to make that
Council
decision,
can
right?
table
And
it.
so what we're recommending, and you just did, was we saw progress on the site from the property owner. If we go through with the demolition, we hire a contractor, we do a budget adjustment, the money is moved into that account, we pay that contractor the work, and then we place a lien on the property that can't be removed until it's paid back. We oftentimes, the high majority of the cases, I'd say 85 to 90% of the time we go through with the demolition, the property owner ends up doing the demolition themselves. It's much more cost effective for them to do that than the city to do that and also place a lien on their property. And so we encourage property owners to do that, and sometimes it takes getting to the city council and seeing that this is a reality before they'll do that. So as of today, we got word from this property owner that there's equipment on site. We actually went and saw it. It's there. And we talked to the contractor. He's been contracted to pay and paid for this work. So that's why we're recommending it be tabled. If the work's not done in 2 weeks, we'll simply recommend we continue forward this process and we'll do the work ourselves.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Any-
Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome. Any other questions or anything? Okay. Moving on to new business, number one, vacation 14-4674, Moore Lane in the Pines and Springwoods, SD. An ordinance approving vacation 14-4674 submitted by Jorgensen Associates, property located at Moore Lane in the Pines and Springwood, to vacate utility and access easements. Blake?
Whereas the City Council has the authority under ACA Section 14-54-104 to vacate public grounds or portions thereof which are not required for corporate purposes, and whereas the City Council has determined that the following described portion of the platted utility and access easements are not required for corporate purposes, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas hereby vacates and abandons the following portion of utility and access easements as shown on Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part thereof. Section 2, that a copy of this ordinance duly certified by the City Clerk, along with a map attached and labeled Exhibit A, shall be filed in the office of the Recorder of the county and recorded in the deed records of the county. Section 3, that this vacation approval is subject to the following conditions of approval and shall not be in effect until the conditions are met. 1, the required fire access road for the Pines at Springwoods Phase 1 shall be retained through the subject property, and adequate vehicular connectivity between the Pines at Springwoods Phase 1 and the subject property shall be provided at the time of development of the subject property, pending review and approval of appropriate connectivity by city planning staff or planning commission at the time of development. 2, subject to the installation of new water/sewer lines to serve the adjusted lots. 3, any damage or relocation of existing facilities shall be at the owner/developer's expense.
Chairman.
This is a request to vacate utility and access easements at a property located north and east of the intersection of Dean Solomon and Moore Lane. The property is currently within a planned zoning district. It was originally intended to be developed for patio homes. The original phase 1, was constructed, and phase 2 had easements and access easements and utility easements platted on that property to do a very similar development style. The current property owner no longer wishes to extend that development style, and so this request is a request to vacate those easements associated with that former development. As mentioned by Mr. Pennington, there are conditions of approval related to access and utilities to be installed and connected to that property once it develops in the future, and we've included those conditions of approval in the ordinance. Applicant submitted all the required vacation forms to the city utility departments and applicable franchise utilities. There were no objections, and the planning commission voted 8-0 in favor of this request.
Okay, what questions do we have from Jeremy from the council? Okay? Okay, any public comment on this? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council.
I move we suspend the rules and go to the second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go to the second reading. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Hetty,
Yes.
Shopmire.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
An ordinance approving vacation 14-4674 submitted by Jorgensen and Associates for property located at Moore Lane in the Pines at Springwood to vacate utility and access easements.
I move we suspend the rules and go to the third, I guess we have to vote.
No, we're going to the third if you...
Okay, go to the third and final reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go to the third and final reading. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Hetty,
Yes.
Shopmire. Adams.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
An ordinance approving vacation 14-4674 submitted by Jorgensen and Associates for property located at Moore Lane in the Pines at Springwood to vacate utility and access easements.
Any final comments from the council on this? Okay. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Hetty,
Yes.
Shopmire.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
Okay, number 2, vacation 14-4685, Shiloh Drive and Fox Club, Springwood, CPZD. An ordinance approving vacation 14-4685 submitted by Jorgensen and Associates, property located at Shiloh and Fox Club Drive to vacate a portion of a utility easement. Blake.
Whereas the City Council has the authority under ACA Section 14-54-104 to vacate public grounds or portions thereof which are not required for corporate purposes, and whereas the City Council has determined that the following described portion of the platted utility easements are not required for corporate purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas hereby vacates and abandons the following portion of utility easement described in Exhibit B attached hereto and made a part thereof. Section 2, that a copy of this ordinance duly certified by the city clerk along with the map attached and labeled Exhibit A shall be filed in the office of the recorder of the county and recorded in the deed records of the county. Section 3, that this vacation approval is subject to the following conditions of approval. 1, any damage or relocation of existing facilities shall be at the owner/developer's expense.
Chairman.
This is a similar vacation request, and very close by. It's within the same plan zoning district, just northeast of the former property. This is off of Shiloh Drive, adjacent to I-540. This part of the plan zoning district was approved for commercial development, and originally there's still a commercial subdivision. This contains 3 lots of that commercial subdivision with about 5 acres. The proposal is to essentially combine all those lots into one larger development and vacate the utility easements that traverse the current interior property lines. And so that's the request for the utility easement vacation. There are no utilities within these easements, and utilities serving the development would be located within new utility easements should they be required. So staff is recommending approval, and the Planning Commission also voted 8-0 in favor of this request.
Okay, what questions do we have for Chairman on this? Anything? Okay. Any public comment on this? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council.
I move we go to the second reading.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to go to the second reading. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Petty,
Yes.
Shopmeier,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
An ordinance approving vacation 14-4685 submitted by Jorgensen and Associates for property located at Shiloh and Foxglove Drive to vacate a portion of a utility easement.
Move we suspend the rules and go to the third and final reading?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go to the third and final reading. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Petty,
Yes.
Shopmeier,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
An ordinance approving vacation 14-4685 submitted by Jorgensen and Associates for property located at Shiloh and Foxglove Drive to vacate a portion of a utility easement.
Okay, any final comments from the council on this? Everybody good? All right. Lisa, would you please call the roll?
Petty,
Yes.
Shopmeier,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
Okay, that concludes our business for tonight. What announcements do we have? Dell?
Mayor, we do have boards and commissions openings, and actually the 23rd, which I believe is the end of this week, is the final day for citizens to submit their applications. We have spots open on the Animal Services Board, on the City Board of Health, Environmental Action Committee, Fayetteville Arts Council, Historic District Commission, Walton Arts Center, Council, and Foundation. So there are lots of good openings, and I hope that citizens will look carefully, and if they're interested in any of those areas, submit their applications.
Okay. Yes, Sarah.
The Fayetteville Forward Historic and Heritage Action Group, or Historic and Heritage Resources Action Group, will meet this Thursday, May 22nd, at 5:30 at the Fulbright Building at 217 East Dixon. You may know that as the former public library. And then the Fayetteville Forward Green Economy Group will be meeting June 6th at 8 a.m., or from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. At the Chamber of Commerce. And they'll be discussing sustainable transportation in Northwest Arkansas. They will have representatives from a sustainable transportation company, Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning, and the City of Fayetteville, as well as the Vice Provost and Facilities Director at the University of Arkansas.
Okay.
Mayor,
Yes,
the
go
polls
ahead.
are still open, and it's a fun day to go, it's a great day to go vote. So I was just gonna say, some of us are wearing our I voted sticker, and, yeah, great to be at city council on a voting day, I think. What a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And I would note that there was a polling location change in Ward 1. Let me find it here. So if you used to vote at the, what is the hotel called now?
Chancellor,
Not the Chancellor,
Clarion,
the Clarion Inn.
something else.
Guest house.
The Guest House Inn, now they have new polling locations for that, so, if you were headed there, call the county election coordinator at 444-1766 to determine where you should vote.
Okay. Don?
Right, Mayor, and to just add, I guess, the last piece of information on what Councilmember Adams said, the polls are open until 7:30 p.m. tonight, so if schedule permits, please participate. We have both state primary elections and local judge elections taking place. The city will be closed on Monday, this coming Monday for the Memorial Day holiday. I do want to remind citizens who have their trash service and recycling service normally on Monday that will run as regularly scheduled. So put your trash and your recycling out on Monday. We will be there for service. The Wilson Park Pool will open on June the 6th, so mark it on your calendar. It will start with our first dive-in movie, which is Monsters University, and it's free admission on the first day for the pool, so we encourage you to come out and participate at that. This weekend, May the 23rd through the 25th, we have the Weekend of Champions, where the Arkansas State Athletics Association will have their state soccer, baseball, and softball championships right here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, at Baum Stadium, U of A Razorback Field, and Bogle Park. So welcome all of our folks around the state, as well as our Fayetteville baseball team, which is in the state championship this weekend. And the second annual Memorial Day run in Murph will be held on Monday, the 26th, at 7:30 a.m. at Veterans Park in Fayetteville. There's a 1 mile fun run, a chip time 5K and 10K. So if you want to get out and exercise on Memorial Day, it's an opportunity for that. And then just as a reminder, the Recycling and Trash Division compost facility has moved to its summer hours, where we're now open every Tuesday, Thursday from 8 to 3, and the first 2 Saturdays of each month from 8 to 12 noon. That's all.
Okay, any other announcements? Okay, thank you all very much, we're adjourned.